Welcome to my new video, whereby I'll take you through animating Michael Jackson to moonwalk using HTML and CSS. So guys, first I'm going to use my Visual Studio, whereby I've installed. So just in case you don't have this Visual Studio, just you're going to go to your browser and type Visual Studio, and you download it for free. Visual Studio download this way. Then at this point you just click there. So you download this version 1.63. So if you are using Windows, you're going to choose this one. Then for the others, for Mac, here is the download link. Okay. So as you can see, this animation. So this is Michael Jackson walking. So I'm going straight to my Visual Studio, whereby I'm going to create a new folder within another folder here. So within this radio folder, I'm going to create another folder. Let me call it Michael 12. Maybe Michael 12. This way. So within this folder, I'm going to create a CSS file. Let me call it Michael 12.html. Enter. Then I'm going to create another CSS file. So we're going to style this HTML file using this CSS file. So let me call it Michael 12.css this way. So I already have two files here. That's the HTML file and the CSS file. So this is Michael 12.html. Same gets still on. That's Michael 12.css. So I have a GIF whereby we'll use it to make that animation. I also have one photo, and for the road we're going to use the Visual Studio code to generate a road. So for the GIF, I have it here in this folder here. So let me view it first. So let me use light icons for it to be visible. So I'm going to choose these two files here. That's the Michael.jpg and Royal.gif. So I'm cutting that, and I'm taking it to the folder. So the folder was this one, Michael 12, this one. So I'm going to paste it here. Okay. So back to our code, I'm going to start straight away by starting with the HTML file. So in the HTML file, I'm going to type HTML. So within the HTML, I'm going to introduce a head, and then within the head, I'm going to write a title. Type title. This title will be Moonwalk Animation. And then I'm going to link the CSS file within this HTML file. So linking it, I'm going to type link file, this one. Then I'm going to type style sheet there. Sheet. Okay, and then I move further. I'm going to type href, and then I'm going to write the name of this CSS file. So I'm going to type Michael 12. Yeah, Michael 12 dot CSS, this one. Okay, so it's already linked, so I'm going to close this way, and then I'm going to introduce a body. So after my head here, already, I'm going to type body this way. Okay, so within the body, I'm going to introduce a container. So I'm going to introduce div class this way. So and this within this okay, I'm going to div class that will be our container. So I'm going to type container this way, and I'm going to introduce another div class here within this container. I'm going to type so div. I'm going to this class will be rod. So we'll be using also rod to make this animation. So I'm going to type class will be rod. So I'm going to type here rod. Okay, and also I'm going to add an image source here. So the image source, I'm going to use the image in the folder I created. So here I'm going to use this image. So the image here is Michael 420.jpg. I'm going to type it Michael 420. Michael 420.jpg. This one. So I'm going to sit in my browser. So back to our folder here. I'm going to check it if it's now okay. So I'm going to open it using my Chrome browser. So nothing is being displayed here. So I'm going to save it first. So because maybe I'm not saved this file. Same goes to this one. Not really. No, I'm going to close. I forgot to close the. Okay. So for the image source here, I'm supposed to use GIF. So I've confused. I've used the JPG instead of GIF. So for the GIF here, our GIF here is royal.gif. So it's royal.gif. So I'm going to type royal.gif here, and I'm going to close it this way. And then I'm going to save the file, and then I'll go back to my browser to refresh to see the changes. Okay, so as you can see, the GIF is now appearing here. Okay, so back to our Visual Studio Code. We're going to do some more styling. So I'll start. What I'm going to do, I'm going straight to my CSS file here. That's michaelweb.css. Starting straight with the padding and the margin. So for the padding and margin, I'm going to assume them to be 0. So I'm going to start here with the styling. So for styling, I'll take my padding. So for padding, I'll take it to be 0. Same goes to margin. Margin, I'll take it to be 0. Margin. Margin itself, take it to be 0. Okay, so I'm going to style it file starting with the container. So I'm going to type container there. Okay, so for the width, I'll take maximum width. So I'll take 100%. So let's maximum width. Okay, and then for the height, I'll also take maximum height, which is 100 viewport height. So 100 viewport height this way. So I'm taking T1. And then for the background image, I already have a background image. So I'll use URL. So the name of the file itself was Michael420.jpg. So I'm going to insert this name here. Maybe I'll have to copy. So I'm going to rename it. I'm going to copy. So back to Css file. I'm going to copy the same image here. For 20.jpg, and then I'm going to save it. Yeah, this way. Maybe I'll have to refresh to see the changes here. Okay, so maybe I'll have to refresh it here. Equal for 20, so that's my background image. This one. Not really. It's supposed to be here. This one. So I'm going to save it. And then back to my browser here. I'm going to refresh to see the changes. So as you can see, the background image is now here. Or maybe this image is not that good. Maybe I'll have to download another one. So this so let me pick one. Maybe this. Maybe two one here. So I'm using a different one for this video. So let me save it. Okay, let me save as. Save it. So at my downloads. So I'm going to copy this image. And then back to my folder. So this one was Michael 12, this one. And then I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to rename. I'm going to rename it this way. So let me say Michael 12. Let's check with you. So back to my Visual Studio. I'm going to change this background image to be Michael 12. This one. So I'm going to save it again. And then back to my browser, I'm going to refresh to see if it changes. So as you can see, the background is now appearing here. So I'm going back to my Visual Studio to do more styling here, whereby I'm going to use a background size of cover. So background size, I'm making it big, cover. Okay. And then for the animation, I'll say animation, I'll say animate 500 seconds. So 500 seconds linear infinite. This way. Okay. So I'm going to save it and then we'll go back to our browser to see we have changes here. Actually, we will not have any change. So I'll have to convert the cover. So you see the photo is the background now is cover. Okay. So back to my Visual Studio. I'm going to start with the keyframes. So at keyframes, let's say at keyframes. So at keyframes, animate. I'm going to style it this way. I'm going to start with 50%, 50% this way. So for 50%, I'll make background position to be background position. So background position, background position. I'm making it to be not actually relative. So I'm going to change this. Let me start again. So I'm going to type background position this way. This way. So I'm going to use 10,000 pixels. 1, 2, 3 pixels. And then at 100%, so at 100%, I'm going to use a background position of 10,000 pixels. Okay? So background position, make it 10,000 pixels. This way. Okay. So I'm going to save it. Maybe we'll have to move back to see changes in our browser. This way. Okay, so let's go for the styling here. So I start with the road. So we're done with the container. So here in our HTML file, what follows is the road. So I'm going to type road. So I'm going to use a width of 13, maybe let me say 1350, or let me use 1330 pixels. Okay. And then for the height, I'm going to use a height of 130 pixels. Height. Something here. So let me type it for this one. So height here will be 100 pixels. This one. So let's run with over here. Anyway. Okay, here we had a problem here, so we're supposed to add this Okay, so then okay. So that's for the road. And then I'm using a background color of black. Background color. Background color. So let me make it black. And then for the position, let me make it absolute. Absolute. And then for the bottom position, so maybe I have to save it first. And then back to our browser. As you can see, our road is now appearing at the top of our browser. So we still have to go further in styling. So I'll go to, I'm done with position. So bottom position, I'll have to relocate it. Bottom position. No, not really. So position bottom, I'll make it. Let me make bottom something like 5%. 5%. So I'm going to save it. Then let's see if it's changing its position. I'm going to refresh it this way. So as you can see, road is now appearing here. So let's go with the styling. So I'm going to change also the transform style. Transform style. Oh, we have transform style here. I'll make a 3D, press out 3D. And then for the transform origin, so you type transform origin. We have it here. No, not this one. So let me type it for transform. This one. So the transform origin, I'll make it bottom. Okay. So let me save it and let's see. So let me still add some more changes to my file, my Css file here. I'm going to make the transform. I'm going to transform itself. So with the transform, so for the transform, I'll use perspective transform. So make it perspective. So for the transform perspective, I'm making to be 200 pixels. So and then I'm going to rotate. X. So angle will be 20 degrees. I'm rotating it at an angle of 20 degrees. And then I'm going also. So we're done with the road here. So I'm going to save and then go back to our browser. So save it. Then back to our browser here. Yeah. Not really. So we're going to the folder Michael 12 here. And then I'm going to reload it. See what's happening. So I'm going to open it using Chrome. So let me open this straight away. This way. And use an Explorer. For now. So as you can see, we have it here already. So you see the road position has changed. So I'm going to adjust some more settings in my CSS file here. So for the road before, so let me type the road before. So before rule before this way, I'll make my content blank, and then I'm using blank content here. So this one will be blank, and then for the position, I'm making it absolute. Position, make it absolute. And then for the position, not really for the top position. At the top, I'm making it to be 50% from the top, so 50%. And then the left, I'm making 0%. Left position 0%. So I'm going to save my CSS file and back to our Explorer. You can see it changes. So I'm going to refresh. So I'm going to refresh it. I think Chrome is better, so I'm using Chrome. So as you can see, the position has changed. So I'm still going back to my CSS file to make some more changes. So starting with I'm done with the top and the left. So for my width, I'm making it be maximum, that's 100%. No, really, yeah, I'm making it 100% maximum. Okay, so let me save it, and we'll go back to our browser and refresh to see this way. Okay, so go to our editor here. So we're done with the top left width. So I'm going to the background. Which background? I'll make it linear gradient. So linear gradient, whereby I'll make it 90%, not really 90 degrees. So 90 degrees, and then I'm going to use white, also white, starting with 0%, 0%, no, yeah, actually 0% white, and then I'm going to write 70%, and then going to black also 70%, so that's linear gradient. So 70%, that's also for black, and then finally I'm using black. Also, I'm making this one really 100%. Okay, so it is. So I'm going to save it, and then back to my browser here. Let me refresh the changes. Okay, so back to editor here. I'm still going to make some changes, maybe starting from the background. So here, here, this way. So I'm using a background size of let me make it something like 200 pixels. Background size. This one. So let me use 200 pixels for the background size. Let me save it. Okay, no changes actually, but still going to make some more styles. So starting with the animation, I'm going to make this animation. That's for the animation. So animation, I'm making it rod 5-second linear infinite. Rod this way, this way. So rod 5-second, 5-second linear infinite. Okay, this way. So I'm going to save it also. As you can see, it's now moving. That's the road and the background. So I'm going back to my editor. We done with the road before, so still going to style the keyframes. So at keyframes, so at keyframes road, the road I'm going to start from 100%, whereby I'm going to make the background, the background position really. So background position at, so I'm making it 200%. So that's 400% at, not really 200%, not really, no, 200 pixels, supposed to be 200 pixels. And then for the road after, so I'm done with this. I'm making 200 pixels. So maybe I'll have to save it first. Then we move back to our browser. Maybe see it changes. So you can see we have a background moving forward. The same case the road, as you can see, it's moving forward. Still have to make some more changes on the road after. So for the road after, I'm going to type it road after. So road after this. So for the road after, I'm going to place content. So for the content also is null. I'm placing nothing there. So we have nothing for the content. And for the position, I'm making it absolute also. Absolute. Okay. And then for the width, I'm using a width of 100%. And then for the height, let me make it 30 pixels. 30 pixels. So for the road after, yeah, making it 30 pixels. Okay. And then for the background, I'm making it black. Background. Let me make it black. And then for the transform perspective also, perspective transform. Really. So for the transform first, so which perspective will be making a perspective of 200 1200 pixels. So this is supposed to be transformed. So make sure you check on the errors first before you continue. So burst active at 1200 pixels. And then I'm going to rotate the x-axis. X-axis. So rotate x at. So I'm going to use negative 20 degrees for the x. But actually it's supposed to be negative 20. I'm going to close to so let me save it. And then back to our browser again. Okay, so back to my editor. I'm going to use a bottom. So let me make bottom something like, let me say negative 20 pixels. So let me save it. So refresh it again. So 20 pixels. So what if I use something like 30? Okay, save it. Refresh. Yeah. I think that is okay. So let me continue. From there, I'm moving to the image. So we're going to style the image also, whereby I'm going to place it at absolute position. So I'm starting with the position here, whereby I'll make it absolute. And then for the weight, so I'm using a weight font neutrally weight, which I'm making it be, let's say, no, not really high weight. So let me make correction. So undo. So after position, I'm going to hide. Okay, whereby I'm going to make an height of 300 pixels. So starting with the height, it is easy. Let me save it. Refresh it. So as you can see, okay, it's at now. The height has changed, so I'm going to make some more changes to position well my GIF. So I'm going to use a top of. I'm making top to be 50%. Okay, so 50%. And then for the right, let me make it 0. 0% even. Okay, so I'm going to save it again as we continue refreshing. See if we are positioning the 12. So you can see the animation or the GIF is now moving to the right, so it's now positioned well. So back to my editor, I'm going to make some more changes. That's for the animation. So animation, that's the moonwalk. So I want to type moonwalk. So because okay, so it's moonwalk. So moonwalk, I'm going to make it moonwalk. So moonwalk. So 10 seconds. So let me use something like 8 seconds. Moonwalk 8 seconds. 8 seconds. Okay. Moonwalk 8 seconds linear infinite. So it even will be linear. And it will also be continuous, so it will be infinite. Linear infinite. So I'm going to just put a space there. Then when it says is infinite this way. Okay, so let me save. Then back to our browser. maybe we still have to make some more changes there. So it's not moving yet. So back to my editor, I'll take to make this one should be moonwalk. So reject the spelling correctly. So I'm going to get rid of this. Really, yeah. Okay. Save it. Then to my browser. Okay. So it's not moving yet, but we have the background moving forward. So back to my editor, I'm going to style mode. So I'm going to start at the keyframes. So starting at the keyframes. So keyframes. So keyframes start the moonwalk. Keyframes moonwalk. Moonwalk. So you have to check on the spelling well. So it's moonwalk. So moonwalk, I'm going to style it this way. So at 100% as usual, I'm going to at 100%. I'm going to transform this way. So I'm going to translate x. So I'm going to translate x also. Okay, so translating x at negative. So let me put it something like negative 5,000. Okay, negative 5. So number of 5,000. Not really. Undo. Supposed to be here. 5,000 pixels. So I'm making 5,000 pixels. And then I'm going to close it this way. And then we save it this way. And I'm going to refresh again. Yep. So the here is so it's moving out of the browser. So I want to make it to move just within the browser. Let me make something like so. As you can see in our browser, the animation is continuous. So it's appearing after some time. That's 10 seconds. So I'm going still to my editor. Let me make some changes. I think for the content here, let me just add this. And then same as this, I'm adding this. Okay, so I'm adding this max. I'll have to adjust my. Let me adjust my transform here. Let me make it something like 500 pixels. 500 pixels. Let me save it and see the changes. Yeah, this one now is better. 500 pixels is okay. As you can see, it's now working. Yeah, this is better. So 500 means it comes out the middle, then start it again. Okay. So if we increase time, same case. If we increase time, maybe if I make it something like 5 seconds, I think it will move faster. 5 seconds. So I'm adjusting 5, and I refresh it again. So it's now faster. I'm going to change also the transform. That's translating x. I'm making it 1000. Let me make it 1000. 1000 to cover the screen. This way. Save it. And I'm going to refresh same way. So as you can see, it's now moving at the end of the screen. So thank you for watching. For more, make sure you subscribe.